tonight. Okay, now we're gonna bring this to 150. All right. Let's get going. All right, so NQ. First time I'm seeing the charts today. Let's get rolling here. A little bit of a late start, but it's all right. I like it. It's fine with me. I still have a full hour to trade. There definitely will be opportunities. All right, so it's coming back. It's pulling back. Did it break that high? It did break that high. So it breaks this high and pulls back right away. The weekly chart should look toppy, which it does. In my opinion, it's ready to go south, and that's what it's doing. Let's look at the demand that it's basing at. Okay. Hold on. Let's go to my intraday chart. This is just for the bigger picture, and I don't want to draw on it. All right. So right now it's coming down. Usually, if it comes all the way down to the demand open, day open yesterday is about 910. That'll be demand. So anything technically underneath this distal line, this is a large pullback right here. That's the pullback we were thinking about. At this point, oh wow, okay. Oh man, okay. So it's looking at some demand here. This is demand right here. This is buyers, and that's probably why it's reacting. But it didn't even touch it yet. Let's look on the 5-minute chart, and that's where we actually entered long yesterday. It's interesting that actually forms as the demand. Yesterday, this we took for a 1-to-1. We got out right here, but it ended up going 10-to-1. We could have kept for a ridiculous reward, but you never know if they're going to go 10-to-1. That's why you have to look at the daily chart. That's why we have to say, like, how far it can go. Maybe yesterday I was looking at it. I knew that it could break out, but I didn't know if it was going to break this high. And it did. So, anyways, I think it can go long underneath these pivots. It's going to be low volume because this is Thanksgiving week. However, yeah, this is demand under here, man. I don't know how else to say it, but it's showing an outside regional distal line. That means it's turned before entry. It's turned quite dramatically before entry. So I'm going to kind of observe what happens. Before getting in. I'm not placing a trade right now because this setup right here, where's my stop? You know, it's right here, but not. That's a holding level, not protecting free space. That trait of not protecting free space is makes my odds probability of a win go down. So that's why I'm a little bit wary of that. You gotta take your vitamins, man. Take your Maltese, bro. Yeah, dude. All right, so what is this? I wanted to see. This is good. The market's going slow today, which is really nice. Because now we can kind of plot our trades, do our trades. You know, it's really quick, or not quick, but just methodical. And really, we can go through these motions. One thing I can see is this breaking up. I could see it breaking upwards. What was I just about to do, though? I was just about to do something. Not protecting free space. Yes. What about it? I don't know. Well, don't know. Don't know what I was going to do. This is rather bullish. Rather bullish. That's all I can say. Let's see here. Alright, coming into some supply. This is a distal line. I think it can break higher. However, where's the supply? The fresh stuff is right here. That is for sure. So if you're long, get out at that point. I don't know if it'll go long. I think it can go short. But then where do you want to get in? You can get in down here. But then where's your stop? There is no free space underneath here, so my stop would have to be at this pivot right here, which is way deep down there. Let's take a look at what that pivot would be. This would be the, let's say, black line. I think it's slightly different. So on the daily chart, that black line is where, that black line is down here. I'd prefer that if the market keeps on dipping. I'd prefer, that would be actually a fantastic spot to go long. I'm gonna ask for I'll set up a demand. I'll take this buy, but I'm gonna take it making it stingy, which draws the proximal line downward, so my entry point is way lower. And I don't know necessarily how far up it'll go. And I'm not holding till tomorrow. It's obviously, yeah, I'm not doing that. So it's a day trade. This is a kind of a big picture swing if it's going to be a day trade. So I'm just looking for bounces. But at this point, let's just roll into the smaller time frames and just figure out what's going to happen. I think it's going to break this low. This low versus high ordeal is definitely important to see. This is the start of demand, this dash line. So anywhere here is demand. I just don't draw the box. This looks bearish. Getting flashbacks from yesterday. Kind of looked bearish like that. And it did drop yesterday like that. So my intuition is saying like, yeah, this shit's going down. It's going to break this low. It's going to enter into this demand here. So might as well take your shorts now. My intuition has a point. However, I just don't know where to put my stop. I'll consider taking this. Oh man, but I've seen these things freaking completely disregard me and abandon my profits. So look at that go. Look at that go. Okay, that's where I would have gotten in. Maybe I'll get in. You know what? These things happen, and it'll go down. It'll go down freaking 3 to 1. And I'll be like, I should have got in. But the reason that's giving me hesitation is that where am I putting my stop? You know, my stop's right on this current bar's high. It's almost getting stopped out right now, you know. It can keep going, but it's just, I know it's bearish. You can see that it is bearish. It could fall off this little cliff and break these lows, the low of days. I don't know how tricky it's gonna be. That's all. I just want the market to play out a little bit before I jump in. That's all. It could go up. It's gone down a retracement of 50% of yesterday's day, which is in general a lot. 50% should require some type of bounce. A 50% retracement. This next 15-minute bar is going to print along with the next hourly. I could see it coming upwards, to be honest with you. I might take anti-breakouts on this. I'm taking anti-breakouts. My stop loss. My stop loss is here. I have to. 76.50. Where's my entry? My entry was at 87.75. 87.75. 1-to-1 would be 98.95. So, 999. Let's just say 999 is my target. Which is 1350 for 1350. Let's take a picture of this. 1350 for 1350. This is actually an intuition trade because it didn't line up perfectly for an anti-breakout. 3 minutes. So I'm long, almost hitting target, very close. And the reason for this is because the 15-minute chart, and I'll take a picture of that as well. The 15-minute chart is printed, and usually when it forms like that, it looks like it needs to retrace upwards. I am asking for a big retracement, a 1-to-1, but that's my risk and that's my reward. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing that because I don't want it smaller than a 1-to-1. That's all. So this can break. I don't know if it will. Looks like it will. Let's take it NQ long. This was int, and it might get stopped out here. 11.75, 11.5. 1350 divided by 150. 9. I got 9 apples risk versus 9 apples reward, and then -9. Stop loss hit. 901. Man, it came so damn close to hitting my target. That is just brutal, I must say. It is just so brutal. And now it just hit my stop loss and bouncing. Wow. That is just relentless. Relentlessly hurtful. Wow. Okay, 5-minute int. That was it gone closer to 1-to-1 than 0.75. I can tell you that, but I'll just say 0.75. The pivot in zone was, I don't know what the pivot in the zone was. 50%. And that's it. Take a picture. That's brutal because it literally came so close to my target and then it hit my exit by 1 tick. It's like turns right around. Wow. That is quite the trade to start out with. Okay. I'm more so bullish. I do see something on the 3-minute. This demand open could work. This would be 8675 is my entry. 8675. 8675. 8675. That would be my demand entry. I'm taking this 1-to-1. I could go more than 1-to-1. I might ask for 3-to-1 actually, and have this as my low. I could consider that. That's just a really far target though. I'll ask for 3-to-1. Fine. My stop loss is this low. 76 flat is my stop loss. There we go. We've made entry. I'm long. 6.8. What is this low? Low is 7.6 flat is my stop loss. 76 flat, which is 10.75. 10.75. My target's a 3-to-1. I gotta take a picture. Yeah, I already did. That's awesome. Let's take a picture of the 15-minute then. I like this. It could go 3-1. I don't know, but I'm asking for a 3-1 because a lot of times I look back at my trading record and it's like, dude, you should have held that trade. So that's what I'm doing. I'm holding it. So it goes 3-1, which would be 23 flat. 23 flat would be up here. 23 flat. So 36.25 would be profit. 24.2. Risk is 1075. 1075 divided by what? 300. 3.6. 36.25. Hold on. Um, 12.1 apples. Right? 12.1 apples. This is a 3-1. Let's bring the apple value. We're doing 300. Let's just not change anything. That's fine. I don't want to change it for just one day anyways. Whatever. 9. So 4.5. 4.5. Negative 4.5. Cool. We got to place this trade NQ long. This is an H setup, H-S, length, or width rather, from here to here. It's 12.5. This was filled at 905 maybe. 11, 21, 23. 684 is the zone number. Is that right? 684. That's correct. It was a 3-minute H setup. Period dash demand open DO. End of trend PE. Which means protecting extreme, which means this is the low of the day. That's protecting extreme. That's all the traits that it has. Furthest it goes, it's gone just 1-1 right now at this point. Pivot in the zone of 0%, which means it barely made any retracement into the zone. I barely got entry on it. I'm gonna say 0% because it's closer to 0% than 25%, isn't it? 25% would be right here. Yeah, closer to 0%. So we're just leaving it be. I'm going for 3-1 on this trade. I think it's reasonable. Let's go to the higher time frames and look. So higher time frame, I'm long right now. My low is literally at the low of day. I'm asking for a retracement up to 23, which is on this chart. The higher time frame chart is right. Oh boy, it's right here. So it's a bit of a bounce that I'm requiring for a profit. Usually it doesn't look that much of a bounce because I go for a 1-1, but I'm going for a 3-1 on this trade, which is a lot more dramatic. So I don't know. It's at this point it's more likely to lose than to win, so I shouldn't get my hopes up. However, it looks like a reasonable thing to ask that the day does. It goes up into this blue line. I wouldn't think that's too ridiculous to ask, but anything's possible. I don't know. It's gone 1.25 at this point. I just see there's so many trades that just run, you know, just maybe I can let this thing run, but all right, let's stop ruminating on this trade and start anticipating what's going to happen. So if it does break lower and stop me out, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to drop right into demand. This is a buying area. I do want to see it on, let's say, the smaller or the bigger time frames. So let's look at the 30-minute, which is an excellent hybrid time frame. Okay, so if it goes lower, is going right into this lonely pivot. Like, this is whenever these things happen, the trades usually take place near the distal line, not the proximal line. I've just noticed that through years of looking at these. It's just whenever it's a lonely pivot like this, it has free space and then it comes back, forms a zone and turns up. The actual zone is at the bottom. That's where the zone is, not within this whole area. So I would bring my proximal line way lower, actually all the way to this low, because and only grab for a 1-to-1. That's really reasonable to ask for the market if it goes down. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not yet. I'm not sure yet. Because the demand that I see is right here. This is what I see. This little demand. This is where I bought a breakout, or actually I bought H setup yesterday. I bought right there, and that was an excellent. It went up. So my point is, anytime that it breaks out like that, it usually requires a bounce. So it meets it. It should require a bounce. And where does that bounce correspond in this chart on the 30-minute? Corresponds right in the middle. Yeah, right in the middle, lower end of here, which is a little bit, yeah, right here. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it should bounce at least sometime today. It should form a daily low at some point. I just don't know if this is going to be the daily low. If it breaks lower, where's the daily low then? It could happen right here, right away. I'm not sure. That does look like demand, but on days like these, sometimes it doesn't have to get to demand for it to bounce, and that's what it's done today. It's gone all the way up here. That was a decent bounce. I'm kind of ridiculous for asking it to go all the way up to here to 23, but it's not ridiculous on the higher time frame, and higher time frame dictates the lower time frame. So is it ridiculous to ask for it to go up to the blue line? Not really, but it's about to get stopped out at this point. Let's look at it. Yeah, this thing looks bearish. So if it does get stopped out, I'm going to let it enter this zone. I think I'd like to take entries here on the buy side of things for the daily bounce, but I don't know where to put my stop other than the actual pivot. And if that was the requirement, if you look on the 30-minute chart, my zone would be this large. That's just substantial. I mean, that's a 40-point zone. That's just, and there's things that happen within that. That's just too wide of a zone for me to take, for me to feel comfortable. Because I'm going to be in the trade, and I'm going to see trades on the smaller time frame that I want to participate in, but I have to be quiet because I'm net long. So that's not active trading for me. It's not okay. However, it could work. Doesn't mean it can't work. I think I'm just going to let it pass in front of me. So I got to make a decision. Am I going to take longs on the bottom side of here? I might. I want to, but I can't. I'm not. I don't like having the zone that big. Sorry. So, no, I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to let it be and let it chill. If it does slice through this zone and come to the bottom side, then I'll be happy to take a zone here. I'll be happy to take some type of intuition set, or sorry, PE. Actually, this is kind of a lonely pivot, but it's too much of a drop here, so I'd call it a PE, protecting extreme. So if it comes into this region, so it crosses the first one, I'll just call it this color, then I'll be happy to take longs here. Even though I do think this zone could work. But okay, let's see if it goes upwards. If it goes upwards, I'm still net long on this bottom all the way past these distal lines. If it goes past these distal lines, I'm looking to go short up here in this zone. So the 15-minute, it looks like a good holding zone. This would qualify as a holding zone. No, it's not quite a holding level, but it's a holding zone for sure, which is they're cousins. I like it. I like it. I mean, it has free space. It has a local distal line nearby that has to pop to get there. I thoroughly, I'm pretty confident in this zone. I would take it as a holding zone. I think I would just go 1-to-1 because who the heck knows? Because if it goes up, it's kind of bullish, especially to this blue line. It's kind of bullish. 30 would be 30 would be the zone, 30, 35, which would be up here, 30, right here. I would ask for a 1-to-1 down to 18. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. I'm not asking for it to go much further, so I'm fine with taking this zone on the short side. So I'm fine with taking this pivot way down here on this distal line. Down here, I'm taking that long, and then I'd take this short. Either one, whichever breaks out. Currently, I'm net long. It's looking very bad at this point. It's looking like it's absolutely going to break this low. But look, I have everything set up. My stops are in place. There's nothing else I can do. Except, you know, I just want the market to go my direction, but there's nothing I can do to force that to happen. My stops are in place. My risk is in place. I'm risking 3.6 apples. I'm down 4.5 apples on the day. I'm risking 3.6 on this trade. That's not horrible. And I'm out. I'm out. Now it's coming into the zone. All right, I got to take a picture of this quick. It's coming into the zone. It's bouncing. Let's see what happens. So negative 3.6 apples on that. It's gone 1.25. That's fine. Oh man, it's bouncing again right at this low. And the zone looks like it's working. If you look on the 5-minute, I didn't want to take this zone, but it looks like it's bouncing almost to a 1-to-1 already. I mean, that's just so quick. That would be quick profit for 1-to-1. But I'd be asking for much more than a 1-to-1, I think. Because it's coming down, man. Look at this daily. Yeah, it still looks like it's going to drop lower. But let's just let this thing be. Do you want to take breakouts? Do you want to take an anti-breakout? Nah, not yet. The next time something like this happens where a bar prints like that, I'm going to take an anti-breakout the next time. I mean, this anti-breakout might work. Anti-breakout would mean it would break this current bar's high compared to having here as a stop loss. Yeah, it looks like it's going to work because it's resting inside an area of demand. I'm more so looking at right here as demand. Yeah, look at the anti-breakout. It's about to work. I'm more so looking at 965 is a great area for entry. I'm going to get prepped for NQ long. I would take it only on the smaller time frames. That's what I would do. I would just take it on the smaller time frames and then hold on to that sucker. Hold on to it all the way up here. And the anti-breakout would have worked. Look at that. Perfect. Good trade. I don't know how far it would go, though. Okay. So here's the 15-minute. Yeah, it's looking like it's coming right. It's coming up, man. So this zone looks like it worked. Wow. you, you know, it's hard to pick, man. 1-to-1. The daily doesn't look, on the smaller time frames it looks like it's popping, but the daily, it's got such a range on it that it doesn't really show a bounce. Not yet. The bounce will come if it goes upwards more. You could take another holding H setup right now. It doesn't look that good though, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let this thing, if it wants to drop more, I'm going to let it drop more. I would consider demand on the other side of this lonely pivot, down here. Consider that area. Wow, look at that bounce, man. It's bullish. Oh, who knows? I'm looking for it to come down. I don't know if I can bounce again because every time it reaches downwards, it gets bought back up. I'm not going to continue that trend. This is a bullish formation, except I don't know how many times I have to take longs on this. This is bullish right now as we speak. I would be bullish until the break of this low. I think it'll work. But watch this. Bye, bye, bye. Oh, breaks. It breaks. Look at it drop. Okay, okay. Now we see a drop. Now we see a drop. I want to buy right now, but I'm going to let it be. I'm going to be patient today. If this wants to drop, I want to buy now, but I'm going to let it be a little bit. Because there's been plenty of times where I've been early. It drops more. It drops more. If it drops this past this distal line, I'm more impressed. Okay, so we're looking at buying around here then. 52.50, I'm buy. 52.50. Be happy to. My stop loss would be at this low. This low is 37.50. 37.50. Targets. So this is good. It's not good that it's bouncing before I get filled, but I'd like it to continue lower. I don't know. I just don't know. So if it drops lower, why do you want to get in long? Well, it's overextended lower. I don't know. This demand, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's logical that it could go up from here. I'm canceling order because I'm not sure about it. Let's just erase. Let's clean this up. Let's get our heads screwed on straight. As far as I'm concerned, on the 15-minute, there's a distal line here, which it's approaching, and then there's supply up here. I'd imagine that this demand works. I'd imagine. I would. So that's what it's looking like it's going to do right now. This low, 54. So I'd imagine that works, man. On the daily picture, it looks like it absolutely can go up from here. Do you just blindly buy? No. I kind of want a setup here. This would be an anti-breakout. Beyond this low, 37.75. 53.75, excuse me. I'm buying. Okay. I like it. I like it. This would be an anti-breakout. This would be an anti-breakout right there. Come on, fill me. It's got to break that low to fill me. My stop would be 47.75. I'm in. 47.75 is my stop. My stop is 480. Oh, wow. It couldn't fill my last order. That's interesting. I'm taking way out there, and I think I'm in still. So 600 is my risk. I gotta take a picture of the anti-breakout. I'm out. Wow. It breaks. Now it's resting at that distal line. I don't know what's gonna happen then. Wow, and the distal line's popping. It's going up. Distal line is working. This was a 3-minute breakout, end of trend, 3-minute 2 BB, protecting free space of 3. There you go. The width on that was micro, so it was like 6.5. 600. So that's 2 apples. For possible reward of way more. I mean, 2, 14, maybe like a 6 to 1 or something like that. All right, there it goes. I want to just buy now, but we're just gonna leave this be. This thing is plummeting. The daily picture looks like it's about ready to go up. I'm gonna take buys at 30. I'm taking buys at 30. I'm in. Stop losses. We need to put our stop losses in place. 30s. I need sufficient. That's fine with me. For a 1-to-1, that's my intuition trade on the day. That's long. Based on the daily picture, and the lower time frame is overextended. I would go long on it. So 15-minute and then the daily minute, take a picture, which looks, look at that. I mean, that's really aggressive on the day. It needs, in my opinion, it's reasonable to have a bounce, but whatever, we'll see. I'm asking for a bounce to what is 69? I don't know if that's a good spot or not. That looks like it where it broke out from. I'd rather go for a 0.5 to 1 on this. 0.5 to 1 would be, so 686. I'd take this right at 928. This was a 30-minute int overextended. I would say overextended of 3. 2. There's been more. NQ long int. What's my width on this zone? I gotta place stop is at 894 flat. 894 flat. 894 flat. 3080. 10.3 apples. I'm going for 0.5 to 1. Possible reward. 0.5 to 1. I think you could go more to a 1 to 1. You could. Let's look at targets here. I mean, 80s are a good target. 80s are really far away. 80s, that's way up here. I'm looking at 70 as my 1-to-1. 70 is a 1-to-1. That's reasonable. In my opinion, that's reasonable. So I'm going for a 1-to-1. I'm going to go for 0.75 to 1 because that's even more reasonable. Which would be 57.75. 57.75. 2020. 6.7 apples. 6.7 apples reward. It would be 0.75 to 1. I'm asking for, what's the width on this? Is 37.5. It's going right now. And we've taken a picture of it. We're good. We're all plotted. We're all good. Everything's up to date. Now I mean, look at that. I'd consider anti-breakouts upwards, adding to position. If it's possible to add to position, that's what I would do. Oh shit. This would be an anti-breakout. Look at that anti-breakout work. It's got to break that high to be in. Now it's actually making a comeback bar, a micro one, which don't often work if the bear fib was this big. Usually price would need to go down a bit more, which is what it's doing. Now's the time he can go long. So at this point, this would be a good idea. I think I would flood in longs, to be honest with you. I'd flood some type of longs upwards. I mean, and I'm asking for it to go to this blue line on this daily chart. I don't think that's unreasonable to go to 70s. And to be honest, I'm asking for it to go to 60s, which is even closer. Yeah, right there. That's 60. That is extremely reasonable that's my target right there. I think that's completely reasonable. So there's nothing else I can do on this trade. I would add to the position at this point. I would add, but I don't have any other dinero to add. I'd add, as this is a comeback bar, I'd add that. And I'm gonna plot that down. In higher time frame zone, that's a trait for comeback bars. NQ long, breakout, 0.687. I gotta take a picture of that. There's a 5-minute. Zone number 687. Look on the 30-minute chart, please. There you go. That looks excellent, dude. Excellent. Really good. Then go down to the 5-minute, and that was a NQ long comeback bar. So 5-minute comeback bar. End of trend. High time frame zone. Ordered at 9:33. I didn't take because it's 686-1. That means an add-on, an addition. I didn't take because I don't have any resources to take it. So 13 is the width. It's gone 0.25. There we go. That's the trade. 686-1. Good with me. 686-1. Cool. All right. Overall, I think we're doing all right. Position overall is still hanging out in the zone. We would need to see the bulls show up here and see it on the higher time frame chart like this. We need to see this buy pretty aggressively to retrace, but it's not showing that yet. So it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed that it will bounce. And if it does bounce, you know, all I'm looking for is that blue line to be hit, which is really, it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable. Again, reasonable. This is not a good sign. This is showing a holding level creation downwards. If this were to print red, this picture would be extremely bearish, especially with protecting free space above it. So I'm really hoping that this distal line gets broken, because at this point, this is likely to go lower. If this next bar, depending on this current 5-minute bar, so this 5-minute bar it could go lower and turn red. If it turns red, it's very bearish because it's a zone now, protecting free space all above it. It's, yeah, that's why it's probably being held right now. The distal line for it to be broken is right here. If it breaks this distal line, that would be great, because that would signify a breach in the bear's armor. But until then, it's bearish, unfortunately, even though we're long. Yeah, nothing else we can do about that. Risking 10 apples for a possible reward of 6. Currently today, I'm down 10 apples. So a 6 apple reward would be really beneficial. Because I don't like being down 10 apples. It's not very fun. Look at that. Be bullish. It's about to test it. It's about to break that distal line, which is so helpful. So helpful. It's a good sign if that happens. Then it can start building a bullish trend and structure. There we go. The distal line was broken. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Let's test this comeback bar. This comeback bar would still be in play. It's gone 0.75 to 1 at this point. I would have entered, but I have no resources to enter. So it's a 50% Piz. All my resources are in the NQ long already. So, oh, it's gone 1 to 1, and now it's coming back. It could break this low. That's pretty aggressive. If it breaks this low today, or this current bar, that's pretty aggressive. If it does that, I don't know. We'll see. I'm guessing it'll go up. What we're asking for, where's our target? 57, something like that. Our target's 58s. So let's put a planted blue line there. We'll make it cyan. There we go. That's our target. Way up there. Way up there. That's our target. It's a 0.75 to 1. Yeah, it is. It's 0.75 to 1 on the intuition trade. It would be about a 2 to 1 for this comeback bar. But it's a battle. We'll leave it be. I don't know what else to do about that. Anticipation's kind of blacked out now because I'm in a trade, and the trade is longer term, all the way until here's the stop loss. So I mean, it's longer term, trapped between the stop loss and the target. There's nothing much I can do about it. This is setting up really, it's just setting up bearish, dude, unfortunately. That's what it looks like. But I've been wrong. It looks bearish, which is not good. Do we change our mind on our trade? No. Nope. We still think it's overextended. We still think it can break upwards. We still think the daily needs a retracement, needs to show some wick here. I could see that happening right now based on the daily chart. So I'm leaving the trade on. We're still not long, just leaving it be. Even though it really looks bearish, dude. It just looks like it just doesn't give a crap. It can just, the gravity is just down, you know. But I placed my trade. I'm gonna be confident with it. It is an intuition trade. It's based on that daily chart, man. That's why I'm That's why I'm taking it. Because it usually has retracement, especially a huge move down like this, right towards that daily open. Man, come on. Sucks if it doesn't, though. Up to the blue line, we'll see. Weekly chart? What does a weekly look like? Oh, perfect. The weekly looks as a comeback bar protection. That's a good thing. When anything is a topping like that, high wick, and if this shows red, that's just a turnaround. That's really bearish if it forms red. So sometimes it says there's buyers that step in before this body of the candle of green body is turned to red. People step in and buy for a little bounce. And our bounce is up to that blue line, which is so reasonable. Again, I keep double checking this trade because I have doubts, but each time it's confirmed on the higher time frame that this is what I should do. So I think I'm right. But we'll see. I've been wrong plenty of times, my friend. Plenty. It's bouncing well now. Let's look on the daily chart. The weekly chart looks like it could definitely get to that blue line. The daily chart looks like it's primed for a little bounce. It's primed. I mean, look at that. But it has not shown bounce yet, even though the smaller time frame's showing a bounce. It doesn't appear to be much of a bounce at all on the daily yet, which tells me it could go more. Could go more. On the 5 minute, so this is important. This is another distal line that it has to cross because it pivoted off of this really quickly. Therefore, there's sellers on that distal line. So essentially, we just have to wait for that. We just have to wait and see if they can get broken. The bulls can break them again. And that would be two distal lines that it snapped. So that would be undercover bullish, you know, undercover. They're not actually apparent yet because it's all bearish, a bearish trend, but it's undercover like, oh, this is a prospect. This is a promising trend. If it's a promising strength, if it keeps breaking distal lines. Let's just start anticipating because I don't like being just stuck and sitting in a trade. Let's anticipate what's going to happen. So up to here, if I didn't have a trade on, I would look at this distal line right here. This is a holding split. On the 3 minute, does it match up? It doesn't match up. It does not match up. So it only appears on the 5 minute and let's say nope, just the 5 minute chart. Therefore, it's not a strength. It's not good because the 3 minute is disappeared. There's no split on that 3 minute chart. Look at I'm having a line right there, circle. That's a whole 5 minute holding split, but on this 3 minute chart, it's invisible. Now look in the 5-minute, it's a holding split. Therefore, this 5-minute holding split is not actually that strong. It can work, but it's not strong because it's not confirmed with its bro, the 3-minute. Little bro and big bro have to get along. If they're not getting along, it's less of a strength. They're the dynamic duo. And then you look at the 15-minute chart, it's invisible as well. There's no split there. But the 15-minute chart is getting a little bit aggressive. Thank goodness for the next print, the next 15-minute bar. I would imagine that it goes down before it goes up. It's probably going to go down to print red a little bit and then go up. So it's likely to go down and hit this demand open. And that would yield another buying opportunity if it's possible. However, then there's so many orders resting at this low. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. If the 15-minute, I would imagine that it goes down. That's my point of view. It goes down before it breaks up, but whatever. We'll see. I think it'll go down, form a bottom wick around this dotted line. Just a bottom wick, and then it could break out upwards. It depends on if it's going to go up or down. Look, I have no control over this thing. It's just, I'm just reading and reacting. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, now it's coming down. It's coming down. I don't think it'll break this low, but it's possible. On the 15-minute, it wouldn't be right for it to break this low without using this demand open for at least a bounce. So at this point, we're stuck for at least 5 minutes within this range. It's gonna be we're gonna be playing the waiting game here for a little bit because it's trapped between the high, trying to break this high, and then this low right here. This demand open. Anytime there's a demand open on the end of a big trend, generally there's some buyers that step in just in case it explodes the other way. Just in case the 5-minute bulls show up, or generally the bulls show up. We'll see. Let's see here. Could go long more. I'm gonna wait. It's looking like this holding split, despite it not having his little bro around the 3-minute. It seems like it could work because the 15-minute hasn't printed correctly yet. But look, I'm long. I'm not gonna go short and play the entire price to my target. I'm just leave your orders on. Just leave it be. That's my point of view. Just leave it be until your target's hit, and then you can worry about the next trade. At this point, it is in a type of supply you could go short. Now it's finally lifting off the ground. You can see it off the feet now, off the bottom. Let's look at the higher time frame chart. The daily is looking like a bounce. You can see the bounce developing, but it's still not even a big bounce at all, which leads me to believe that my target is so reasonable. It's so reasonable in my opinion. Let's look at the weekly comeback bar prevention. So I think we're okay. But who knows, man? Who knows? All right, so it's coming down now. Let's look at the 15-minute because that's what I was going for. So it's gone bullish, and now if it wants to continue bulls, if the trend wants to continue up, it needs to create a formation going up. It needs to create some type of pullback and fluid retracement or fluid impulse move to provide that trend strength. At this point, it's just a bounce. We have no uptrend. So it's resting within this holding split right now. This holding split is, only appearing on the 5-minute. I don't know. I think we're all right. I think we're gonna be all right. Just leave it though. Leave it be. All right, let's see here. Risking, so we're supposed to be risking 5 apples, but I'm risking 10 on this trade. Is there a reason for that? Yeah, I'm saying double. It's double my normal risk because overextended arrival, and I'm confident in the higher time frame daily bouncing. There you go. The add-on, oh man. Okay, here's the retracement. This is what makes a trend. If you can go bullish on this, if this can go print green from here, this would be undoubtedly strong. But it has to go up, and that's the problem here. If it breaks, this is a downtrend, and it will probably remain a downtrend if this breaks, unfortunately. That's just what it looks like to me. And because I'm long, obviously I'm voting for it to go up, but if it breaks, man, it doesn't look right. I could be wrong. There it goes. It breaks. There it goes. I think it's about to break. So when looking back on this holding split, man, did it work, right? It worked. This holding split worked for a little bit. I wouldn't have taken that. I wouldn't have taken it. I'd imagine that this is bearish at this point, but who knows? I'm just leaving my stop as is. There is a possibility that you can put pivot in the zone. On this 30-minute zone, it's gone how much to 1? How much? It has gone 0.5 to 1. Would you like to put the pivot in the zone? Yes. This might hurt me. I might get stopped out. However, it's what I have to do. It's what I have to do. It's the right thing to do. Pivot in the zone. My stop loss is at this low is 16.5. 16.5. 16.5, which is 1280 is my risk. 1280 divided by 300, which is 4.3 apples of risk. Well, that's a substantial difference. Piz of 4.3 apples. It's gone 0.5 to 1. Let's take a look at this bounceroo. A bouncerooski. Bouncerooski. It's gone 1.5 to 1. I'll take a picture of that. This was a 5-minute comeback bar. Yep, 5 minutes. I'll just take a picture of that. So I'm net long. I have an add-on position that I didn't enter because I don't have any resources to enter, but I would be tracking it. I'm tracking it right now. Wow, it could be going up. That'd be crazy if it does. Smaller time frames look fairly bearish, to be honest with you, but the higher time frames are concurrent with me. saying that there should be a bounce. There should be a little bounce here. I'd rather be net long than short. So let's just leave it be. We have only 6 minutes left until only exit orders. It's looking like this trade will last all the way until 10. Oh, darn. It just wasn't that much trading. I don't know. It just wasn't that much. Okay. All right, man. All right, now the 3 minutes building a downtrend off of this. Oh my gosh. You could go short on this. I want to, man. Trust me, I want to. I want to go short because that's what it looks like to me. But I'm long. What do I do? Just get out of my long position because I think it's going short? You could. You can get out for a profit right now and leave, but what would that leave my net long position? My net long position would be getting out prematurely, but I have my targets set and my stop set. I should just leave it be. NQ long. Yeah, I should just leave it be. That looks mighty bearish. That's all I can say. It looks really, really not good for me. All right. What is right and just in the situation? What is right is I don't know. Maybe waiting for price to go down and show me signs to go upwards. But how would I have gotten in this trade? Oh, this was a comeback bar. Luckily. But I don't know. I don't see how I would have gotten in this upside without just getting in. Yeah, this looks so bearish, dude. I am screwed. Let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, well, the 15-minute demand open is there. Thank God. Or thank goodness. Excuse me. This is demand, technically. That would be an H setup demand open. End of trend. Anytime it's on the end of a big trend, a demand open like that, a bullish bar, it usually provides a bounce, but I need more than a bounce to get me to my target. I need an actual retrace, like a full move, not just a little bounce. Not much else we could do about it though, because I'm not exiting the position until it's on this this blue line or red line. That's all I can do. Anticipation. Just trying to talk through what's going on in the smaller time frame. It's down. Higher time frame is down. It's really down. This looks really bearish, right? I mean, it goes right into. It's a big retracement right into here. I think this is a very deep retracement. I think it should yield some bounce. Today, there has been no bounce. It's been pretty much down this whole time, and I'm asking for, this is one of the biggest bounces of the day. And it's really barely appearing in the daily time frame because it's gone down so far. So I'm asking for a bigger bounce, that's all. Which is what I'm asking for. I think it's reasonable. Once again, on the smaller time frames, this 15-minute is working. Holy crap. Look at that demand open. I mean, thank God that that demand really retraced there. It really flipped the market back to the bull side. That is pretty cool to see, but it's not breaking this high yet. It's giving me hope though. Would you rather be bulls or bears after this bar, man? Holy moly! I would rather. I think I'd rather be on the buy side, but it's giving me a hard time to see on the smaller time frames. Gotta go it out. Gotta zoom out. But I know I have my lines are all freaking over the place, but generally that is a bullish sign, and I'm asking for a little bit upwards. So that's how it is. I'm gonna leave this trade run. I don't need to see it anymore because there's nothing I'm gonna do different. I don't care what happens. My targets are there and my exits there. That's it. There's nothing else that is considered. So, I mean, you could enter one more contract if you wanted to. I think you, if you have enough margin. Yeah, we do. That's awesome. One more? Yeah, that's just one. 2958. 958 is my target up here, which is 2245. 2245 divided by 300. 7.5. 7.5. My risk on the trade is 1880. Oh, whatever. Oops. 6.3. Which would mean 7.5 risk as Piz, with what would be my reward? Oops. 2245. 7.5. $6.3. How is my Piz the same? Bro, this makes no freaking sense, right? I mean, my stop loss is 1880. Whatever, man. I'm just not gonna mention that. Whatever. My reward is what? My reward is 50. My reward is 0.75 to 1, which is 2245. 7.3. Whatever. I'm just gonna leave it as that. Target would be 7.3. All right. That's it. That is it. And wow, man, such a battle going on here. Going back and forth. Such a battle. Man, I thought we could do it. I was getting excited. Such a battle, but man, oh man, it is forming bullish. That's a very good statement. This is very, very good. I must say it's very, very good sign. It's very, very good sign for bulls. It looks bullish, even though it does not. You cannot see it on the daily chart. It looks bullish on smaller time frame. Yes, it looks like it go up. Yes. All right. At this point, nothing I'm doing. All right, so I'm just gonna leave this open, close the stream, leave open until my target or stop is hit, and then I'm done trading. Now I go do other things. Okay. Good trading day. Not profitable. Regardless of what happens right on this trade, it's not going to be profitable. But hopefully less of a loss if it goes up. Hopefully it goes up. Whatever. We'll see. Man. Tough. It's just tough. Tough racket.